So welcome back, guys. So today, right now is we will discuss how I made the YAML file for my documentation. So here is the link where you can write your own. You can write and test your own documentation YAML file. So it can be JSON or YAML file. So you can just convert it JSON. So it's okay, guys, if you can close the tab here. So automate it saves uh your work in the local storage of the here in the local storage of the page. So it's just okay. So for my template is when you visit this page in the incognito or in the new browser. So this is the default view. So I just follow the the default documentation here. Then I just edit it. Here's the default sample of the Swagger documentation. So first is this is for the this part here is I just change the value here. It will reflect here. So here's just the version 2.0. This description is this one. So it refreshes automatically. So when I made changes here, the sample, it will reflect here in the right side. So here's just the description, then the version, which is this one, title. So say sample sad here. Term of services is this one. So you can change your this URL if you want. So when I click this URL, it will redirect to if I click this link, it will redirect to this URL here. Then contact of email. So contact the developer. This one will they open the mail to this email you have right here. For the license is just change it to Cloudflare. So the name you can change anything you want, so it will reflect here. Then the URL. So for the host is this one. This will be displayed here. Example DSAE. Then the base path is /API because in my routes is I have this /API here. /API in all. So for the tags is this is like your models or your, your models in your the models in your database or in your API. So this one is I have only two models, the hobby and the uh, people. So here is the people, this one. These are the tags. Are the tags. So if I change this here, will reflect here. Then the description is this one. Then the external docs is this one. The example, you have a model of lion here. So you can put it, find out about more about lion, then you put a URL here. This describing lions like that. So you can put the link there. So here's just uh, I remove the external docs. This one. So for the schemes is this one. This is the HTTP HTTPS. It's the default here. You can remove one. You can remove either two. So when I remove that, so it's just HTTPS. So let's just so in the paths is this is your this one the the endpoints of your URL. If your API. So I'll just collapse this. So for the /hobby is this one. /hobby then post then get. So post and get /hobby. So these are the requests. So in the post is you must tag this to the the tags you want to tag. For example, if I change this to people, it will move in the people area. But it move here. So you must tag that to its corresponding model. So for the summary, it will reflect here. Description is this one. So when I put something here, there's the description. So in the operation ID is this must be unique. Must be, for example, if I change this to this one, it will return an error. Like so, this one. Operations must have unique operations ID. So let's just return it. Then consumes is this one. Prepare will display this one. So this one, you can, let's say example, your API consumes a JSON or either the XML file. So you can put it here. So let's say example. So you can change it like that. So there's also in the default sample, there's a form data here. For example, oh, it's gone. There's a form data here where you can upload this one, upload image. So choose file like that. And do this too. So next is the parameters in body. This is the required fields. So there are only uh, correct values in this one. So say example, I will change this to letter an error. So allowed values are either body, header, form data, query, or path. So you can change anything there you want. So this one is just description, then required to. So if I change this to false, maybe it will get this one. That in the model, it's define the definitions below. It's okay. So for the schema, it will reference the definitions hobby post. So let's go to this hobby post. This one. The definitions is where you define this one. So it's type object required. You will put the property that you want to be required. So example, here the person required is first name, last name, and age. So you will specify it, all of it there. Then property is name, string, the type of string, then example of eating. So you can find the type here when you click the model. The examples, the type is string, the example is eating. Like that. So post, let's go back here. Post, then responses, for the responses is this one, 201, this one, then 404, this one. So almost, so I guess that's it. It's just repetition, guys. So the next is the example in where if there's a parameter like this, the ID parameter. So let's check for the new here. So this one in parameter path. So for example, let's hobby ID patch. This is the patch here. So this one is the path. So ID of the hobby to be updated like that. Then body, the body. Then definitions is the hobby post. Example, let's go here in the post of person. Person, people, people, then post. So for the definitions, the schema definition person post. So let's go here. So here's the data type. The model. So required fields, this one, then string, then integer. Age is an integer. So let's just check these guys. This one, you can reference a definition to another definition. So this one, let's check this. So this is another definition, and this is another definition. So let's we'll get hobby. So this one, this is the definition of the people. Then I just change this hobby to on. I mean I add the hobbies array, type of array, then definition hobby get, which is another definitions here. This one. So that's the new only, guys. Then it's just all repetitions. Then here is it's just the default. Just leave it there. So what's the difference here in the documentation? I mean in the default UI, in my deployed UI, is that I hide this one, the models, because this is where you will define your I mean the request body, where you define it. So for example, people get hobby. So this model is not in your database, just for documentation purposes. So I hide it in my here in my deployed Swagger UI. So when I scroll down, there's no models here. So for the deployment of this one is, I'll just discuss it later, and maybe in the next video. So that's it, guys, for the documentation. So I hope you learned something new. If you have questions, guys, just comment it out. And also don't forget to like and subscribe. So thanks, guys. See you next time.